welcome back, everybody. It's Jack Graham, and another video. Thank you for being here. For those of you who are back, thank you for coming back and checking out what's going on here on my channel. And for those of you who are new, welcome. If you haven't subscribed, please do, and like and all the stuff that everybody tells you to do. It helps things out quite a bit. I'm going to do a short video today on a musician that's known for so many different things in the music business. That would be André Previn. André Previn is, for some of you, it's maybe not, the household word. He's maybe not as famous in the jazz community as Oscar Peterson or Bill Evans or Art Tatum or Herbie Hancock or Keith Jarrett or Chick Corea, on and on. But what a musician, and what a life he had. So how this came about, folks, is for those of you who don't know, I listen to probably as much, for lack of a better term, classical music as I do jazz. And I've learned many years ago about André Previn as a conductor with the Houston Symphony in Pittsburgh, and then going on to conduct the London Symphony, the Royal Symphony, Vienna Philharmonic. I think he was at Oslo for a while. But he's respected in the industry as one of the greatest conductors ever. So I subscribed quite a while ago to a YouTube channel that I'm going to recommend to all of you called Audiophilia, and that's AUDIOPHILIA. I'll put the link in all of this below. This is a channel run by a great knowledgeable and a great person, Anthony Kershaw. Talks about equipment, and he is a wealth of knowledge on classical music. So for those of you who are getting into classical music, you can really learn a lot from his channel. He has reviewers, real great writers, and some people review some equipment. Anthony does a great job. And, along with Scott Wilson at Depressing Matters, I'll link his channel here as well. Both of these gentlemen collaborate to bring some really great information on classical music. They do a live stream, which will be on tonight. It happens to be a Wednesday. It'll be posted tonight. This video will be posted today. So the live stream will be on tonight at 5 p.m. West Coast time, 8 p.m. East Coast time here in America. And again, it goes about an hour and a half. It's really just a kind of a real relaxed situation. I normally, once in a while, pop on with these folks, normally toward the end. They do a great job. They had some great guests. Recently, they had the principal flautist from the London Symphony. And there's a couple other people that you'll see on the stream. There's a gentleman from England who has played with all the orchestras, knows all the conductors, great stories. And then a really great writer and equipment reviewer from Indonesia, Carl, who I believe is teaching over there. I'm not sure, but he was we have Indonesia, London, Anthony is in Victoria, British Columbia, and then Scott is in Miami. So all around the four corners of the planet will be on this stream. And for those of you who don't, you want to learn about classical music, a great place to do it. You can ask the most basic question, and it'll get answered. There's no attitudes here. It's really a great thing. So if you're around tonight here on YouTube, AUDIOPHILIA, I'll link this below as well. But André Previn. So last week, Anthony did a video on his channel, Audiophilia, on André Previn, the conductor, the orchestral conductor, and went into a biography, some of the great recordings he did, what have you. So I'm not going to touch on that. I'm going to link that video here as well. I would recommend that you all go back and look at that. I'm not going to redo what Anthony did so well. So just please check that out when you're done here. I'm going to talk just for a few minutes about what here in the jazz community we knew André Previn, what he did. André came, he was born in Berlin in 1929. I believe he passed, I'm going to say 19 or 20, geez, I want to say 2019. I'm not sure. But he lived quite a long life. And there's a lot of stories about some things in his life that I won't go into. They're all good. He was married 5 times, once to Mia Farrow. Led a fairly colorful life, and just, boy, I'll tell you, what he did, most people wouldn't do in 5 lifetimes. But as a jazz pianist, you know, he settled in the West Coast with his parents. His dad, I believe, was a writer for Universal Studios. So they lived in Beverly Hills. He went to Beverly Hills High School, André. And he always referred himself as a musician who played jazz, not a jazz musician. And that's really a good way to say what he was. He was very prolific in playing what we call the Great American Songbook. Did scoring for quite a number of movies. Worked in the studios in LA at a very young age, in his late teens. He did Porgy and Bess. He did My Fair Lady, of course. He didn't write the tunes, but did the arranging and the scoring. And some other things with TV. He did Lassie, the old black and white TV show with the collie. But he really had his roots in LA and began recording with, I think, with contemporary records, with a number of trios, with Shelly Manne. He did many of his own things. He liked to work with trios, and they weren't always drums and bass. Sometimes they were bass and guitar. Did a lot of work with Joe Pass, Mundell Lowe, some of the great guitar players based in Los Angeles, back in the 50s and the 60s. But did a lot of recordings on contemporary with Shelly Manne, some of which you've probably seen around. Some of which have been reissued. This is the original contemporary of the My Fair Lady with Shelly Manne and his friends, Songs from My Fair Lady. Actually, this is the reissue. You can see the sticker here behind my hand, if I can balance that. This is the Kraft reissue. I think this is still available. This is the original contemporary on the black contemporary label here. But Leroy Vinnegar is on here with Shelly Manne and André Previn on piano. It's a great record. This is still available. I would really, if you don't have this, this is kind of a record that you need to have in your library if you don't have it. But he did a lot of recording on contemporary. Here's another reissue that was recently done on contemporary, brought out by Kraft Records, remastered by Bernie Grundman, of course. And on here we have Red Mitchell on bass, Shelly Manne and André Previn, and you can see the picture here of André, very young. This was done, I'm guessing, back in the late 50s. Yeah, 1959 in Los Angeles at Contemporary Records. Did a lot with contemporary. He played with a number of contemporary artists as well, other than Shelly Manne. Here's one, the Benny Carter, jazz giant on contemporary. and he plays piano on here on a number of cuts, along with Jimmy Rolls, of course. But again, Barney Kessel's on guitar, Ben Webster's on here, Benny Carter, Frank Rossellino, Shelly Manne. Benny Carter is also a great writer, great arranger, and great musician. Was a great musician. So he worked. Andre did a lot of work with some great people. He did a couple records on his own, on contemporary. This is called Like Previn. This is the thumbnail. It's on this video, and again on contemporary. This is actually the OJC of it. 75 contemporary back in 1960, and again with Red Mitchell and Frankie Cap on drums on here. Really good player, tasty player. Again, he was not, he's not Oscar Peterson. Doesn't play in that style, but he plays very, very, very melodically and very. If you hear his voicing, you can tell he's well-rounded in music, and that comes from the scoring and the writing and arranging that he did. It shows in his piano playing. But please, the guy's done it all. I mean, he's conducted some of the great classical pieces that are regarded as reference recordings to this day. Please check out Anthony's website and some of the references that Anthony makes to his classical stuff. I've probably got more André Previn as a conductor here than I do as a jazz pianist, and I have quite a bit. But he's done it all, and very few people have done what André Previn's done. André worked with Dizzy. Dizzy loved to work with André Previn. He loved the way he played. He was a swinging pianist. I think in a lot of ways, he had a little Horace Silver in him. I know he listened to those players, and it rubbed off. But to be able to play in that style and then go ahead and make some of the greatest recordings of all time with orchestras like the LSO and Vienna and the Royal Philharmonic. I have his. In fact, I just listened to it the other day. His recording of some Copland music with Houston. It goes back a number of years. It's wonderful. It's fantastic. I'll leave that to Audiophilia and Anthony. And for those of you who are around, check it out. Check the live stream out every Wednesday night, 8:30 Eastern Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time. I think you'll enjoy it, and if you do, subscribe to Anthony's channel. You'll learn a lot, and if you do chime in or communicate, tell Anthony that I sent you. And Scott on the Pressing Matters, he covers a lot of stuff, classical, rock, which I stay away from because I don't know enough about it to be conversant in it, and some jazz. He does a great job. Very in-depth stuff. A lot of in-depth comparisons of recordings and pressings. So I'll link all the stuff there. I hope you enjoyed what you heard. Again, if you like what you heard, please like, subscribe. André Previn, man, check it out, and we'll see you again. Bye-bye.